Hello, I am Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz. It is February 2017 at 10:27 p.m. And the topic is America is about to implode. I mean, absolutely exactly what I say. This country is about to implode. And it is all because of one thing. They all thought that Hillary had won, even from way back when they had the Republican convention and they started lining up all those who are going to run for president. And then on the Democrats, there were what, three? All this time, they'd planned on Hillary, period. Hillary's got it. She's a shoo-in. Well, you know what? Prayer begs to differ on that. And that's what happened. Number one, this going insane and everything that women are doing today. And let me say this, and to be fair, 90% of the news coverage are liberal. 90% of it. Look at it. You don't have to trust my word. Look at it. See who is reporting what. You will find 1.5 channel to 8.5 channels reporting. One is reporting the truth, the real truth, and the other 8.5 are reporting lies. They blow things so out of proportion that they want this fire to continue to burn. In fact, they want it to burn bigger and bigger. And of all the states out there, the state that I thought would probably be at the top of the list absolutely has gone to the bottom of the list. In my opinion, California would come out at number 50 if you want to count them, starting at 1 being at the top and 50 at being at the lowest. California, you have met the standards of being the lowest. Washington State, you're number 2. Oregon, you're number 3. Chicago, you're number 4. That's the line. That's where it is. That's from the bottom up. That's not from the top down. You guys are just kissing George Soros' butts on both sides at the same time, because it's his money that's making you do what you're doing today. I called it right, and what can you say about it? You can't lie and say that's not true, because we all know that's true. And let me tell you something else that is sneaking up. Now, this is happening, has been happening, but it started on Hillary's watch. She's the one that started this back in the Libyan days. Because of her, the Libyan president was murdered, and half of SEAL Team 6, or more than half, that took out Osama bin Laden are gone because of Hillary. And then our people in the Benghazi, the American embassy over there, are dead, all but one. And with that, here you have Saudi Arabia giving Hillary Clinton, now look, from going back to George Bush, all the way through the Clintons, all the way through Obama, and then back into Clinton. Look, Saudi Arabia is giving $1 billion to that group of people, and they have that money, and they don't want to give it back. Naturally, they don't want to give it back. But let me tell you who is who in that part of the world, because the powder keg is fixing to explode. And when it explodes there, the world is going to be affected, whether you like it or not. And here on this side, you're so friggin' distracted by a dog and a cat fight, you can't stand it. Instead of stop it, you sit there and drool over it. And instead of doing something about it, you sit back and start buying peanuts and Cokes and watch it. That's what you're doing. Liberals, that's what you're doing. While on the other side of the pond, we have Saudi Arabia in the black stone of Mecca. Okay, there's Sunni, right? And you have the Shia. You have Iran and most of Iraq and some other spotted countries out there. Parts of, not many. What you have is a failed attempt by the Houthis, as I reported 2 or 3 times on blogs a year and a half ago to 2 years, about the Houthis being hired by Iran to creep on up the Mediterranean, or not the Mediterranean, the Red Sea, until they got into Saudi Arabia so they could go in and destroy the Black Stone and take Mecca out. They want a new caliphate, and Iran's buying it. They're paying for it. And now, since they really have the money, not only can they do that, they can also build nuclear missiles and threaten them. Guess what their pet, the Houthis, did the other day? They took and blew, or tried to blow, one of the Saudi Arabians' naval ships out of the water. I don't know if you saw that, but it happened. And Iran sits back like, well, we didn't do that. No, it's the money that you gave the Houthis to do it with. And that's what you have. And it's getting bad. I mean, it's getting really bad. You have the Searles, which all you people in the United States, women, I've never seen you kiss both sides of the same butt, but you're doing it. And you know what? You don't even know why. You don't know why, except the liberal part of you still feel like Hillary should have won, when the fact is that's the worst thing in the world that could have happened, because the United States would have ended within 6 months. Look, I've told you that. All you have to do is research it yourself. Obama gave this country to the UN, Agenda 21. He gave it to them. And as soon as Hillary comes in, she will sign it over to them. And then they'll come in and divide this country up into portions. And they'll split it with the Muslims and the Hispanics and the crazies. And then the people in this country, they have streamlined the ultra rich and the rest, which all became poor. They're going to all be shoved in one direction, while the ultra rich are going to leave this island called the United States. They're going to go to other places, most of them. While the Muslims come in by the hundreds of millions. If you go and look, and I'll think of his name in a second, I'm drawing a blank right now, but he's been doing a show on Skywatch and on Prophecy Watchers and on Prophecy in the News about the Egypt being laid waste for 40 years. That's going to happen. I've told you that. He also said that Damascus will be destroyed. The Bible says that. I'm just saying that he repeated it, as I did, over and over. But they're going to be destroyed. And there's going to be a lot of people there. And they'll never build again. But Egypt, after 40 years, they will build again. But in the meanwhile, Egypt will leave with a lot of money. And they're going to come here. And unless we have something to stop them, they'll take over. And when they take over, then what you have is an Arab, Muslim, and I'm talking about sharp contrast mix of people who the meek will not inherit the United States. It'll be the idiots that'll force their law of Islam and their Shia law and their God, which is a moon rock, upon everybody here. And all the fighting here is allowing that to happen today before your eyes. You're so distracted on what's the internal fighting is you don't see what's lining up at the back door. You're not seeing it. Trump sees it. He's the only one that has that vision. Why? Because he's the only president that goes to church every morning. He's the only president that's prayed since I have been a kid. I mean, I'm talking about that was a long time ago. I never even heard Jimmy Carter pray, and he's supposed to have been a small town part-time pastor in Plains, Georgia. My mother grew up with a boy. They went to school together, but yet his family was multimillionaires. And he was no small-time preacher or even Sunday school teacher, and nor did he pray when he became president. This man that we have here, other than Reagan, are the only two people that's ever prayed since I've been voting. And if you take that back from 49 to 68, that's when I started. I started voting 68. And I haven't heard a man pray except Reagan. And he really didn't pray. He just suggested it. But our president prays, Trump. And you don't like it. You are so pissed off you can't stand it. Because what put him in office? Well, number one, Trump did not put himself in office. It was me and millions of other Christians and millions of other hard-working people that have the same ideas stuck in our head that we would say if we had the platform, he said it for us. So we went to him. He's the only man that saw what we were seeing. So our prayer got God, who has set this man aside before the foundations of the earth, and put him in for president. And guess what? He'll remain whether you like it or not. And it will only hurt you, all those bickering and fighting. And Searles, buddy, you're going to run out of money before you can get Trump out of office, because God's got more money than you. In fact, he owns your money. He'll take it from you if you don't watch out. All of it. But look at it, analyze it, anything you want to do. But if you listen to the liberal lies, the liberal TV news media, then you'll never hear the truth. None of you will. Guys, open your friggin' ears and see what's coming out. Look what just happened in Berkeley. My God, isn't that the second time? I would shut that damn school down, and everybody that was responsible and had any part even standing out there, give them a friggin' 0, not an F. They didn't deserve an F, which is a, what, 63 or below? They don't even get that. Scratch them off. Scratch off their, from the time they've been there up to that point, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, they lost it all. That would be what I would do. I would take it away from them, because they're not there to learn. They're there to create problems. They're there because the liberal media is so friggin' loud in California, in those western states on the Pacific, that you can't hear the truth. It's what it is. Open your eyes, America. You're destroying the best thing that's ever happened to you. You're not destroying Trump. No, not at all. You can't hurt him. He's like Israel. He is God protected. You can't hurt him, so stop it. You can't hurt Israel, so stop it. In Iran, you're fixing to get slapped really hard upside the head, really hard. And take my word for it, there's a thing called prophecy. And guess what? So far, every single one of them has come true. Iran, count the people you send in against Israel. And then when you deduct 5 out of 6, count the ones that come back. 5 out of 6 of them will die on the mountains above Israel, and Israel will have never fired one shot. Take my word for it, that's going to happen. In America, you cannot overturn God's decision because he did what's best for us. If you don't like it, go to God and talk to him about it. But that's like being a sinner and not being a sinner. If you're saved, doesn't mean you're perfect. It meant that you truly want to be saved and you regret what you have done, your sins. But you're going to sin again, but that doesn't condemn you again. It just may call you home early. It may tighten down on things that you felt like you earned, but yet they didn't come, because you can't keep going against God the way you're doing it. You can't keep hurting Americans that are innocent in all this. But that's what you're doing. You're hurting yourself and you're hurting the rest of the country. And one more thing. There was a number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5 guy in Chicago. Some of these gangs, not the MS-13, no, that came to one of the pastors and said, look, we'll sit down with Trump. And what they're asking is insane. We'll slow down some of this killing. Just don't stop our entitlements. Yeah, right. My word to that, keep killing. And let's give them all a gun. And when they all get a gun, then none of them will be left. And then there'll be no entitlements to give out, right? Jody Wolf Expoz.